interviewing Joe tomorrow.
Oh, tell him Claude said hi.
I will.
We are live on YouTube.
It's on its way. So setting up meeting for YouTube. It's taking a second.
Okay.
Interviewing Joe tomorrow.
Oh, tell him Claude said hi. You got to hit your mute button when you do that.
Yeah. Hold on a second.
You're mute on the YouTube screen.
Oops. Okay. There we go.
Do you have a link you can put in the chat box and then I'll send it out?
Yes. Zoombrandon.live.
Oh,
www.zoombrandon.live.
Oh, okay. So people can come on on this one? Okay. Okay.
So I'm going to start letting people in.
Okay.
Okay. Just a few people. So
the more the merrier.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're getting started here. Claude, thank you so much for jumping on here. Appreciate it. For those of you who don't know Claude Diamond, he's the godfather of lease options, the inventor of the gut sales method and marketing. And
just when I was out, they pulled me back in.
They pulled you back in. You're out in San Diego right now, right?
Yes, go Padres! I need a Padres shirt, Claudia. Except they're going for $500 now. They're really good shirts. Oh yeah,
wow.
They've got Californians have way too much money. a cardboard box behind the Walmart in Chula Vista is $100,000 now.
Yeah, okay. with good scenery, right?
Yeah.
I when I lived out in San Diego, I lived in a couple of different cities, but one of the areas I lived in was Encinitas. And I would go down to Moonlight Beach in Encinitas, and it was beautiful. But what was interesting, I met and became friends with two homeless guys that lived on an empty lot that overlooked Moonlight Beach next to all these $1 million homes. And the owner of the lot just let them live there. He didn't care.
Wow.
Yeah.
People people in it's kind of a cultural thing, especially in LA. My daughter lives in LA, and there's an empty lot next door, and there's some homeless people, and they adopt them. They bring them food,
right?
And, things like that. When it's cold out, they give them blankets, extra blankets, and things like that. I don't know if that's part of the solution, but there are individuals who do help.
Definitely. Well, I appreciate you jumping on, and I've learned a lot from you, Claude. So I'm excited to introduce you to some of the people that are in my circle too. And I know you spoke at my Creative Live event a lot of before fun as well. During the pandemic, right when the pandemic was kind of wrapping up, I hope, but tell us a little bit how you got going and how you got the real estate fever, how you got going in real estate and what you're doing now.
Okay. The short version. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a recovering attorney. I've gone to law school. I have business degrees, law degrees, and everything. I worked for corporate America. And then one day, what did I read? Robert Allen. He wrote the book, Nothing Down. If you guys remember that. I think he kind of got out of real estate, got into network marketing. He wrote a new book called Nothing Left. It was like the crypto of the 1990s.
Yeah.
Then William Nickerson, how I turned $5,000 into $5 million. And I read all these books and I got real estate fever, And real estate fever is like we've all experienced this, where we just want to, we're like dry little sponges and we just want to absorb everything we can. And I discovered a gentleman who was not only the greatest salesman I ever met and very successful, but he was also utilizing lease options, lease purchasing. Yep. So being great in sales and learning how to leverage, that's the operative word, real estate, changed everything for me. I bought a few properties with cash and credit in the beginning, but it was not enough to live on. And the management was tenants and toilets drove me crazy. on it. And lease purchasing solved a lot of those problems because I could take a little money and rent a property and control it like I owned it. And I could make the tenants motivated because if they wanted to buy it, they had to pay me on time and they had to take care of the property. So that eliminated chasing for rent and all the evictions and the minor annoying maintenance that you get from tenants. It empowered the tenant, but it allowed me to control a lot of properties, which was just great, and leverage. And today, many years later, my wife and I, we're very comfortable. We're debt free. We're mortgage free. We live in California, Colorado, North Carolina. We have houses. We have investment properties. We have land. And it all started by meeting one really good mentor who shortened the learning curve for us. And maybe that's a takeaway for your audience.
No, I and one of the things too, I think you and I align a lot on lifestyle because I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. There's more than one guru out here. There's
you grow them out there. Phoenix and Florida, man. They have rows like rows of corn of guru crops or something.
It's there's a lot. And and I know a lot of them. A lot of them are great friends of mine. Huge teams, big offices. I have a small office, solopreneur. I did do all that. I did build teams. I did work for a great team, but there's something about the lifestyle and being able to just take the laptop and phone and go.
Yes.
And
well said. Well, very well said. The lifestyle. I've had money worries in my life. I understand what it's like going to bed, sweating the rent. I've been there. Okay. Yeah. And then you grow up and you have family and you have kids and you need car. I mean, I'm very sensitive to other people's struggles financially. And when you work for somebody else, you don't have the control of your life and your finances and your freedom that you normally would. I'm not knocking working for other people, but my personality is so much better working for myself. I work, like you said, I work on the, I believe in the concept of the kitchen table millionaire.
Definitely. Several of my good friends, one of my other mentors that helped me buy my very first house here in Arizona, they're like the millionaire next door kind of guys. Like we go get tacos. They won't spring for the queso and chips. I'll buy that, because they're on a budget. But what I love about it is they're also solopreneurs. They'll I call it like lone wolves, but they will pack up and join forces to do a deal together or do a joint venture, but they kind of have their own entities, their own businesses and run kind of solopreneur style,
Yeah. There's something, the operative word. I love that you brought up the lifestyle because we never talk about that. And it's not that we need fancy cars and a lot of bling and stuff like that. I just wanted the freedom from financial worry. I wanted to go, that I can take care of my family, my responsibilities. I can be debt free. I can be credit card free. You know how controlled we are when we get into all this debt all the time. And in real estate, you can generate passive income. That's the money comes into my business every day. I have no employees. I work with my wife. Thank God she does the accounting and the bills. I'm the sales guy. I give good phone. I just talk to people every day. And that, thanks to my mentor who taught me sales and strategies in real estate, like lease purchasing, that allowed me the freedom for Claudia and I to travel. We drive nice cars. Not that that's important or anything, but my kids graduated college without any mortgages, without any loans or debt on them. I wanted to give that. I have good kids, so
that's a huge catapult for kids nowadays, especially.
Yeah. And I still believe in education. I know a lot of people are down on it. I think getting out of your parents' home and going to college and experiencing different ideas and thoughts and things like that. Okay, as long as they don't long as you don't turn into a Berkeley flaming socialist, Oh shit, he had an opinion. Excuse me. But the thing is the lifestyle. If we just came back to California from Colorado, the hot water heater went. Okay, boom,
Mhm.
call the plumber. $2,200 later, who cares? The money's there. That's what this business has given me.
Yes.
That freedom, and in the old days, oh my God, $2,200, which credit card? How are we going to do it? Are we going to, are we going to have to call mom and borrow money? We have that freedom. And
Right.
when you take the money thing out of your life, you can work on your health, you can work on helping other people, being charitable, philanthropic. You can do the things in life life is short. Don't you want to leave a legacy and do the things that
Yes.
are important in life?
Well, when you're worrying about that stuff, that's all that's on your mind, it seems like. And it seems like it just attracts more of that worry. So the sooner you can kind of escape the rat race, so to speak, in the sense that you have enough continuous income coming in versus your expenses,
Yeah.
you know.
And can I tell you a secret? It's fun. I love this business. I could have retired a long time. People always say, when are you going to retire, Claude? You've been doing this 32 years. I don't want to retire. I love it. It's fun to me to have something to do, it's such a creative thing to find a deal that and structure that deal with price or terms and different strategies and negotiate with somebody and see something that nobody else sees and turn that property into a sandwich lease purchase, a bed and breakfast, an Airbnb, to do an arbitrage, an assignment, a wholesale deal and sell it to somebody else to create notes. This creativity is so much, you're not only making money, but you're having a hell of a lot of fun. It's a creative outlet.
Right. Yeah. One of the strategies, I think, is like you're talking about arbitrage, and there's a lot of people I know that are in the wholesale business, but they didn't even realize that they can create a note. They don't have to lower the price. They can create a note, arbitrage it for an assignment fee, and then instead of lowering the price, they just create a note for the difference.
Yeah. Here, I just grabbed these off my desk. These are all notes. These are notes. Every day. These are just from today. Every day we have notes that come in from the deals we do. We're our own bank. So when you do a deal with somebody, whether you wholesale it, you finance a sale of a property, all different kinds, you can be the bank and you can set up your own. You can do the same thing the credit card companies, the banks are doing with mortgages. Most people pay on time. You set up a note. Say you got to find a nice piece of property. I'll give you an example. We have properties in Colorado. I got them. I optioned them for 160, 170. Today they're all worth $500,000 plus. If I was going to sell that $500,000 to, say, a developer or somebody who wanted to build a house on it, I would sell it for the top dollar, but I would offer financing. I could charge interest or whatever, and I could structure it for maybe 5 years, interest only. I could amortize it, principal and interest. I could do a lot of different, I could add 8, 9, 10% interest on it and get payments for 3, 4, 5 years.
Well, that may be a little too cheap of interest now, Claude. Mortgage rates are climbing.
I've always believed in incentives and for instance, a lot of my notes, I don't charge any interest if the payment is made on the first of the month. If not, then it goes to 5, 6, 7% or higher. So you create an incentive for people to, what's more important, getting paid on time, or on the note that you made $250,000 on, or getting high interest on a note you have to chase for payments.
Yeah, you want to get paid, right? We're in the business to make money today.
Amen, brother. And not getting tied up in the minutia, in the tenants, the toilets, the evictions, the rent collection. You want to make this a business where you're basically selling time, information, your creativity. You don't want to get bogged down in the minutia. Okay.
And what I love is one of the things you help me understand too is we can get paid for our knowledge. We have a specialized knowledge, whether it's doing deals, whether it's consulting, doing mentoring.
Yes.
So
Yes. All that experience you've had, even the negative experience, as long as you don't repeat it,
right.
is of value to another person because you don't want them to repeat your mistakes.
Exactly.
Okay? And when you have your successes also, and you're continually studying, I read magazines, Wall Street Journal, New York Times every day. I read a lot of different, I try to really stay on top of this business. Okay.
100%.
I'm on YouTube with hundreds, thousands of videos now. And I predicted in February about this recession, this scary recession.
That's what I wanted to ask you about, Claude, was what do you think is going on in the market? What are you doing to pivot or adjust? Or what advice do you have for the rest of us?
You change your strat. What does Warren Buffett do? What do really successful people do when there's a market change? The masses usually go, the sky is falling, the Chicken Little stuff. Oh my gosh, and the entrepreneur has a vision and says, how can I have to change my strategies. I got to change my marketing. I got to change my ideology, my vision. And so this is an opportunity for people to pick up good homes in good neighborhoods if they're prepared. I told people back in February this was coming. I saw it. I mean, you didn't have to be Nostradamus to see this stuff.
You mean if the government prints money, inflation happens?
Hard to believe, huh?
Right?
Yeah, hard to believe. And a lot of other and there's other factors too.
A lot of my friends, especially locally here, are big in the wholesale world. And there was a time where literally this year, they were slinging deals at 85 cents on the dollar to hedge funds all day long. And I mean, it was between 80 to 90% sometimes. They were buying 90 cents on the dollar, as high as 90 cents on the dollar. But a lot of those buyers have stopped buying at that price point or have pulled out of the market completely. So adjusting to this creative real estate idea, adjusting to strategies like lease purchasing and creating notes and stuff like that, I think it's going to be, we have to pivot. Yeah. I think there has to be a pivot.
It's leverage. It can leverage basically mean, and leverage in real estate is it can make you a lot of money, because if you can control I'm here in San Diego. We were joking before, a cardboard box behind the Costco is $100,000. I mean, it's very expensive.
If it's not that difference. My sister-in-law has a house in San Diego. The average house price in San Diego is over $1 million now.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so if you could leverage that $1 million house, and houses out here, you have houses out here, I'm not kidding, $5 to $15 million, that people bought 20, 30 years ago, and it just kept going up and up. There's also you can get condos under $1 million, and the rents have gone up significantly here also.
Yeah.
It's a great place to live, but it's very expensive. I just filled up my car here in the Soviet Socialist state of Southern California. It's $111 to fill up my little XT6 car. And I think about that. I can afford it. Thank you, Lord. I can afford it. But I think about a lot of working families with kids and 2 cars, and they're stressed out and they're working, and then every time, and they're commuting every day. And how do they keep putting $100 in that car once or twice or maybe more a week? And if they have 2 cars, that's $200, $300, $400 maybe a week or a month that they never spent before.
Not including their car payment or insurance, So I think like Arizona, we're next door to California. We're getting a lot of influx of Californians. Like I see tons of California license plates now.
Yeah, so. But this is an opportunity now. My advice earlier in the year to people, because I always do Claude Predicts in January at the new year, and I said, get rid of the garbage properties, clean up your credit, and accumulate as much cash and good credit as you can, because the boom is coming. Well, right here we are right now. It's happening. Okay. Companies are cutting back. they're laying off people. We're seeing some big companies have a hiring freeze, or they're laying off. What was that one company? Was it Facebook or
I just heard Intel's laying 10% of their workforce off.
that's a chip company, and the government just gave them $1 billion to develop more chips, right?
And one of the big campuses is here in Arizona in Chandler.
Sure. We're going to go, recessions traditionally go for 12 to 18 months. This one is going to go well through 2023 into 24. Depends on the politics. I think we might see some changes in the politics, hopefully, more conservative spendings on that in this next election. And things will turn around. They always do. But the people who you pick up a good property today with an option agreement, maybe you don't want to lease it and manage it, but can you negotiate an option on a property, lock in the price, maybe lock in the terms, owner financing or something like that, and then and negotiate for 2, 3, 5 years? What do you think is going to happen to a good property in a good neighborhood, a good school district 5 years from now? It's going to go up.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And can you control that? And smart investors, this is when they pick up opportunities. They pick up deals.
We're already seeing prices drop, and it'll level back out. I think, especially because interest rates will come back down. So
yeah, but it's going to get worse before it gets better, I predict.
I think you're right. Unfortunately, I think you're right. And for some people, I think it's unfortunate. For the rest of us, if we're paying attention, we can monetize off of that.
For real estate investors, this is that little this is this 18-month window of opportunity to pick up good properties. You pick up one good property, one good investment property, and you manage it correctly, you finance it right, you remarket it, renting it, lease purchase, whatever. That will be your retirement someday.
I love that. Hey, Clark, let me ask you a question. Let's say I'm kind of new in the business. There's a lot of people I know that have 1 or 2 years of real estate experience, not years and years, right? They haven't been through a recession yet. This is new for them. What do you suggest them to do now? Say they, like a lot of them I know, were doing wholesaling, and now they're looking to pivot a little bit.
Couple things. You want to gain knowledge. You want to get a methods that allow you to have leverage. So if you don't have the money, you don't have the credit, but you have some resources, can you leverage a real estate? Can you control it and remarket it so it generates passive income for you? My first couple properties made me maybe $50 a month. My first property was a condo I got for $25,000 in New Jersey. I sold it for $180,000, years later. Okay. I didn't know it was going to go up to 180. It was great.
Right.
I refinanced it. I bought another condo in the same development. I paid, what did I pay? 50,000. I sold that one for 160. There's no company in the world that's going to give you a paycheck like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
To get what you want to do, you have to. I think the shortcut to success, my story, your story, is find somebody who is doing it already honestly and successfully, and pick their brain. I believe in mentoring. To me,
100%.
Get to that right person who's accountable to you. I know you mentor, I mentor people, I consult, and I love helping my students, my mentees, avoid the mistakes and get to success 30, 60, 90 days later if they follow my plan, my ideas on it. I believe that sales and marketing are centric to success, and not many people are talking about the art and science of persuasion. We think we can mechanize this business. A lot of people are talking about ClickFunnels and mechanizing it and hiring other people. And that's nothing wrong with that. I ran this business by giving good phone. I did my own marketing. I talk to people every day. I make offers every day. And you have to be
bingo. I think you nailed on the head. I think most people, they want to outsource all this, or automate it. But there's a point where you actually got to get on the phone.
You know, there's some things I'm very careful here because there are people doing these other things very successfully. Right. Okay. It's a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of headaches when you're working with delegating a lot of stuff to other people. You have the traditional hiring problems and everything else. I believe in the kitchen table millionaire concept. I sit down, I do my own marketing through social media. We have a thing called the guts attraction marketing.
Oh, hold on, time out. So you're not spending like $10,000-$20,000 on marketing and pay-per-click and direct mail?
No. I used to do those things before the internet. We spent $10,000 a month just on marketing. And that was in the Stone Age. Today, I do social media marketing, which is not that hard to do. I actually get paid for my marketing. I not only get quality leads, deals, houses, new clients, consulting and mentoring clients. And I do that all through social media, attraction marketing, putting out compelling content to people on a consistent basis. And so that they contact me with their needs, their greeds, their problems, their deals. And so every day I'm getting people contacting me, and I like warm calls. Nothing wrong with cold calling. I've done my share, but isn't it more fun? Isn't it easier to work with a warm prospect?
100%. It's the attraction marketing versus the disruption marketing is what I call it. It's a different lead.
Yeah, it is. I'd rather speak to 5 people a day. I call it my rule of 5. If I can speak to 5 people a day, buyers, sellers, investors, realtors, attorney, anybody, if I can speak to 5 people a day and make offers every day.
I don't know if this will show up with the background or not, but let's see here.
You put it by your black shirt.
You know what? I think I just have to take off the virtual background for a second.
Yeah, there you go.
What's that look like, Claude?
Rule of 5, baby. The rule of 5. And it basically it says, and I got it on I have a board here also, because I want to look at this every day. I have whiteboards in all my offices. So I look at things, and it says, make new calls every day, cold and preferably warm. Warm calls through attraction marketing, the gut system. Follow-ups. You got to have a follow-up system. Okay. Right. So the person you speak to today, but they're not ready, they're not motivated, it's not the right time, doesn't mean you give them a score and you follow up with them in a week, a month, 6 months. Okay, that doesn't mean that because they say no today, it's a no tomorrow. So you always, every day you should have follow-ups. Every day, make offers to these people you talk to, you speak with. Sir, what do you need from me in order for us to do a deal today? Sir, I'd like to make you an offer, price or terms. Sir, how can you and I do a deal today? Make a commitment today, a contract today. I do that every day. I leave gut-style voicemails. Okay, I don't know if we'll have time for that, but I leave a very special voicemail, so I get at least a 50%.
Give us an example of one of your voicemails, if you don't mind.
I got to have the voicemail.
Okay, thanks for calling, Brandon. Sorry, I'm out of the office right now. Please leave me a message. Beep.
Hey, Brandon, Claude Diamond here. Sorry it took me so long to get back to you. I have the paperwork and I spoke with my attorney. I need to speak with you today about that property on Avocado Lane. Yeah, give me a call at 970-281-5151 as soon as you get this message or before 2:30. We're ready to make a move on the property. Bye-bye. I've never spoken to this person before. And what... There's a lot of psychology in the gut sales persuasion.
And that triggers that emotion, right?
Well, if you got a message like that, you don't know who I am. We've never spoke. And you heard a message, attorney, paperwork, contracts and everything. What are you going to do? How am I trying to make you respond?
You just want them to call you back.
They call me back. The real world. Who are you? What's this message?
Who is this person? Yeah, exactly.
Hello, this is Claude Diamond Consulting Group. How can I help you?
Yeah, Claude, you left me a voicemail saying that you're has some paperwork for my house on Avocado Lane or something.
Oh, Avocado Lane. Yeah, that isn't still available, is it?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
we're still
okay.
looking
I'm
to sell
sorry.
that.
I make so many phone calls here. Can I ask you 2, 3 quick questions and you ask me a few and I'll make an offer on your property and we can maybe do business today or you can fire me. Is that fair?
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Oh, you're a great guy. Thank you. Boom. I'm in a dialogue. I'm communicating. This is the secret of my success. This simple, what we've just demonstrated. I talk to people every day. If you are not speaking to people every day and being, my daughter once gave me the greatest compliment I ever received. She said, "Dad, you're just comfortable in your own skin." And maybe it comes with getting older or something like that. You get to that IDGASL. I don't give a shit land. I hope that's okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
You
totally
just
fine.
you talk to people and you're relaxed and you ask a
Right.
couple questions.
Authenticity.
What's that?
You're authentic. Authentic.
Just be yourself. Don't read a script. Hello, how are you? No, don't sound like your competition and just get into nice dialogues with people, set up the agenda, move to the next step of the gut sales method, qualification, and then go commitment to close where you go into the more formal. Oh, there's the book. Yay.
Right. Yeah.
Can I give anybody watching, can I give them away a free book?
If you want to. Yeah.
I like giving stuff away for free. Hey, Nate likes that.
Nate's giving us some claps there.
Yeah. Just just go to no, give me a call. 970-281-5151 or go to claudediamond.com, send me a message or an email. I'll send you a free copy of book. Maybe I'll even send you 2 if you're nice to me. This is attraction marketing, putting out content, giving away free materials of value to people. You can't just assume that you're going to run to the back of the room. Remember the old days? You run to the back of the room. Hi, everybody, give me thousands of dollars. I don't treat my audience like my prospective prospects like that. I want to give them value. So they see me as somebody who can help them get to their goal, selling the property, buying one, structuring a lease purchase, or learning how to sell. It's always back to that persuasion ability.
Right. The good thing the thing that you do consistently is you do put out a lot of simple videos. They don't have to be 2 hours long. They can be 3 to 5 minutes. You have some sort of call to action to call or text you or whatever, or a link to schedule a call.
I give away better things for free than what some of my competitors charge for.
Yes, true. Very true.
I really believe you used a great word before, transparency. I like the word accountability. Okay. Nobody unfortunately woke up this morning and said, "Hey, let me call up Brandon and Claude and give them a lot of money or do it." You have to earn that first in today's environment. And we have and that's the beautiful thing about social media. It allows us to let people say, "Gee, maybe that guy has something. Maybe he can help me. Maybe I feel good about Brandon. I think he's an honest guy. I think he's a good fella." What happens to your competition that are spending all this money on all this stuff, mailers and emails and text mails and all that stuff? What happens to your competition when one person thinks that you have value to bring to the table?
It's a game changer, Claude.
Yeah,
it's a game changer.
Do you need a lot of prospects to make a lot of money?
If you're a closer and you know how to persuade and close, you don't.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's sales is the $1 million skill to me. My definition of success.
What make money today?
Well, that's part of it. My definition of success is if you took everything away from me that I've worked a lifetime with myself and my wife, houses, money, savings, cars, took everything, literally stripped me financially naked, but left me healthy and got me to maybe a burner phone, a cheap phone or something at Walmart. I will be back on top. I will be a 1%er in 30 days or less.
I love that.
What that means, I will be making money. I will be one of the top wage earners. So that means I could go, you take an Elon Musk, a Steve Jobs, who did lose everything.
Yeah.
What do we know about successful people? They've always had challenges and major setbacks, but they come back. Why? How come some people always come back?
Because they got the knowledge, they got that mindset.
Yeah. They have that knowledge, that confidence, that tenacity, and they have amazing communication and persuasion skills. Okay. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And so if you're using it in a way, the right way, you're talking to people. We don't talk to enough people anymore. We think we can text our way or email our way to success. Nothing. I use text and email too, but my goal is, can I get one-on-one with somebody on the phone, on Zoom? Can I speak to somebody and make them an offer? Buyer, seller, investor, realtor, I don't care.
It's a lost art, communication, not just sales, but communication. I think talking to people, get on the phone, not being scared, being able to meet face to face.
Yeah. It's $1 million skill. That's why I say you could take it all away from me, but I know in my heart and soul, it's not about the accumulation of wealth. It's the ability to know you could lose it all someday, but but start all over again and make it back again.
100%. No, Claude, we have a few people on Zoom with us. I just wanted to open up to them if they have any questions.
Sure.
Would you mind taking any questions?
I love questions.
All right. Nate, did you have a question?
Yeah. Hey, Claude. I appreciate hearing your story. It's great to meet you. I'm out in Phoenix, Arizona. I just got to see Brendan at a workshop this Saturday, and I was introduced to lease options, a few other creative strategies. I'm kind of curious because I agree exactly with your prediction of get the credit score up, get cash reserves going, maybe build those relationships with capital partners. But right now, how are you using lease options to help you with those goals? Or is it more of a long-term play with lease options? Because I'm still fairly new to it. I don't understand how, like in the short term, you're making money. I see the long-term play. Could you talk to that, please?
Sure. Depends on where you are in your investment career. Okay. When I first got started, young family, law school, new baby, all I wanted was that extra $500 to $1,000 a month. We needed a little bit extra. Okay, because Southern California, even 25, 30 years ago, was pretty expensive. And we needed that extra $1,000 a month. Okay, so my goal was passive income then. Could I make some money per month? I wasn't looking long term because I just wanted to be able to pay the cable bill and put mac and cheese on the table. So if you're starting out, you want to learn to make some money too. Nothing wrong. Long-term investing, that'll come once you get your own finances in order. You don't want to come from starvation. You don't want to go into massive, massive debt. Okay, because if you make one mistake, all the dominoes come down.
Right.
On it. So it depends on where you are. At this stage of my career right now, I'm still optioning. Okay, you find me I believe in good homes or good investments in good areas. I like or areas that have potential.
Pretty houses, not ugly houses, right? Pretty house.
In the beginning, I was doing anything with four walls. I was doing mobile homes. I was doing condos in very dicey neighborhoods. I mean, higher crime areas, not the nice, the pretty, because that's all I could afford. And my mentality was, well, I better start with these really low price homes. It was a confidence thing.
Did you arbitrage a lot at the beginning, Claude? Like do assignments, or did you keep a lot?
Great question. In the beginning, it was accumulation of properties and generating monthly income.
Okay.
I'd get a nice little 1-bedroom condo. Okay, I'd get it for $500 a month and try to at least purchase it out for $650. That meant I had that extra $150 a month. That was a gas, that was fill up my gas today. It'd be fill up my gas tank and a couple slices of Costco pizza. That's money. You have to generate cash flow to survive. and you want to make a
Mhm.
little bit more money. So in the beginning, I got to that 1,000, and that 1,000 turned into 2,500 a month, and then 5,000 a month, then 10,000 a month. And I'm talking Stone Age here, 30 years ago. And my wife was working, and I remember the days.
30 years ago, 10 grand a month. That's huge.
It was a lot. My wife came to me. I remember exactly. And she said, you're making a lot of money. And I was doing it consistently by getting hold of properties, lease purchasing, making a couple hundred extra dollars per month, getting option money cash up front that I put in my pocket that reimbursed me for marketing and operational costs, and still making a profit. Okay. And eventually we had all these properties. I have a chart here somewhere. I got to dig it out. We were still renting a 2-bedroom apartment for $775 a month, but we owned like 15 properties. It was and I remember my wife said, I'd like to stay home with the baby and stop working. And I said, go ahead. We're making enough money now. You have to have consistency.
Okay.
In making money and leverages. And the thing is, today, for today's market and everything, I'm optioning properties that have future potential, not purchasing them and managing them, but I'm also looking to the future. If I can get a good piece of land near a golf course, a ski area, a couple blocks from the beach, and I can get that land for, let's say, $500,000, but I can get it for an annual option of $2,500. Okay, just lock it in. Wow. And if that piece of property goes up 10, 20%, if it goes up $50,000, I can buy it, I can sell it to somebody else. I can do I have choices now. And that all came from putting a little bit of money down to control something big. So there's many strategies that you can utilize.
Is this a good time to start accumulating lease options?
I think so. What's the number one? The affordability of purchasing a house is gone. Okay, young people cannot afford, with the higher interest rates right now. The prices are very high, but the interest rates were low. Yeah. So even
the monthly payment just went through the roof, didn't it?
It went through the roof. What is it now? 6.5 to 7.5.
7.7. 7.7.
Okay, that window of affordability has become unaffordable to many, many people all of a sudden. So then what are they doing now? They're renting. We need more rentals. And what's happened to rent rates in Phoenix and San Diego and Chicago, Miami?
Oh, through the roof. Yeah.
They're going up.
Right. So if you could control a property and negotiate the right terms and the right rent, the rent is the most important thing. So you get a property for $1,500, but you can rent it out for $2,500. You're making $1,000 a month on someone else's property without the taxes, paying the insurance, and without doing the really habitability repairs, the roof or the heating system or something like that. That's leverage.
Well, one of the big keys too, Claude, that people don't talk about is that full payment you're making is a full expense, not just a percentage of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. If I pay the owner $1,500, but the tenant or the tenant buyer who has put some money down upfront, option money, and they're paying $1,000 over what I'm paying. So I get $2,500. I send $1,500 to Brandon, my owner of the property. If that tenant buyer buys the property, I make money. I make money up front. I make money every month. That's the passive income I was talking about. And the beauty of a lease purchase is if they buy the property, of course, I increase the price. And so I make money on the back end too. And if I do a short contract, and let's say they don't buy it the first year, they want a second year, I get to do it all over again. I get more option money. I can increase the rent or keep it the same. I don't have to be greedy. I can adjust the purchase price. If they don't buy it the second year and I have a 3-year contract, maybe I have enough money right now that I can buy this property because it's a cash cow. One property generating that extra $1,000, $1,500 a month, even in 2023. That's for many people. How wonderful would that be to have that extra $1,500 a month?
That'd be huge. Yeah.
On one property. So let's say this works.
Wow.
And now you find a second property, but you're not making as much. That second property maybe only makes you 500 a month, but now cumulatively you're making 2,000 a month. And if you live a little below your means, richest man in Babylon, and you're saving your money, you're getting rid of your consumer debt, you're increasing your FICO and credit score. Maybe now you can eventually become a player, buy properties yourself. And that's the passive income. So you have extra money every month, but long-term investing so that you can invest in the future.
Claude, it sounds I was really impressed with your voicemail. It would be really amazing to hear how you structure or how you present the benefits of a lease option to a property owner. Like, how, in my mind, I'm like, why don't they just rent it out themselves?
Why don't
so
they?
I did. So I'm kind of curious.
Miss. Oh, let's role play. Can you mind if we do a role play, Brandon, real quick?
Love it. I love it.
Nate, why don't you give your property to a real estate agent or just lease it out yourself? I was wondering, you got, did you ever consider let me ask you this, Nate. You were trying to sell your property, but you couldn't sell it, if I understand you correctly, right?
Yeah, I didn't get the sales price I wanted back in February.
Suppose I told you I want to buy your property, but I'd like to rent it first. You get paid on time. We'll take care of all minor maintenance under $500. And I'll do a contract with you today and your problems are over. You'll get help paying your mortgage and your taxes. And hopefully we will buy the property in the next 36 months, or somebody will. Suppose I made that offer to you, and it's okay to say no to me. How would you feel about having that peace of mind tonight at the dinner table?
So buying it at the price I want that I'm not able to get, is that what we're saying?
Are we role playing? I'm sorry.
Sorry,
out of the role play. Okay, I do. Brandon knows I love going into these role plays, but the trouble is I don't tell people a lot of times when I'm role playing.
Act like the seller, Nate, and ask that question.
Okay, so I'm just a little. How much would I be getting, and are you going to be buying it? When am I going to get all the money?
Great question. Right now, the property's sitting empty, or you're moving to another location, if I understand. But you have a mortgage on the property, sir?
Yeah.
Round numbers. Is it a small, medium, or large mortgage?
It's medium.
Medium, 200, 250, 300?
We've got about 350.
350. Thanks for sharing that with me. It's important. Roughly your monthly payment is $1,800. Yep. 2,000 a month. Okay, off the role play. Now, while I'm speaking to Nate, I'm analyzing in my brain how I will make money can I make money on this property, and what strategy am I going to do? Am I going to do price, where I can get Nate to just sell it to me for the balance of the mortgage or a little bit over, so I get the equity, or I want to negotiate the terms as a lease purchase. So if I know his neighborhood is 25 to 2,800 a month in rent, because of the demand is so high right now, and I can get him 2,000, I'm going to negotiate to get the best rent for the longest lease, because I know I can remarket that property and make the difference on the rental per month. So I can either rent it from you and then sublet it to somebody else and make 500 a month, or I can lease purchase it from you and structure it so I get option money and over market rent and market or over market rent, and maybe even another 5 to 20% at the back end of the property. So I have to, while I'm speaking to you, I'm going to analyze this. Nate, let me ask you something. What would be I'd like to rent your property. What would be and you're moving away. So you've got that $2,000 a month on a vacant home right now. That I don't know. That's not stressing your family's financials, is it?
I mean, it's nothing. Yeah, definitely. I mean,
2,000 a month, that's 24,000 a year. You must be married to a good woman. My wife would kill me if we were losing that. I mean, how are you dealing with? Let me ask you this. Suppose I said to you, I'd like to help you with the rent. I'd like to rent your property, take very good care of it, pay you scrupulously on time for the next 36 months, and negotiate a purchase price during that 36-month term. Suppose I was willing to make you that offer. That isn't something we could do today, is it?
So you would take care of my mortgage and then buy it after the 36 months?
Suppose I said yes to that. What would your response be?
That sounds really interesting. Yeah, I'd have to maybe talk to my
Interest-
wife, but
Interesting means, let me talk to my wife. Honey, is it, Nate's in trouble with this empty property. Is it okay if I help him out? My wife said it's okay. Yeah, she just said, she really did. She was in the other room. She just said yes. I do shit like this. Okay?
I love it.
I have a lot of
fucking love
fun.
it.
Bottom line, if I can get you to call me back today, we do a 36-month contract. I pay you $2,000 a month on your property. I negotiate the rent, I negotiate the term, I negotiate the purchase price. And then I remarket this house. Rent to own home, owner financing, easy qualification. And let's say I just give you the first month's rent like a regular tenant. Okay, is that leverage that we've been talking about here for the last hour? That's pure leverage.
That is something that people need to understand, Claude. Literally get in and control a property for a month's rent instead of 20% down or 30% down.
Yeah. And I'll give a little tip here. Sometimes in lieu of I'll give them maybe 2 or 3 months rent up front, knowing full well that I can put a tenant buyer in this property really quick and get my money back that I prepaid you. So here's a golden rule of real estate. You can't get hurt if you don't have any money in the deal or if you have very little money in the deal. Okay, that's the leverage that least.
And I like how you apply that down payment or option fee or what I call it an option fee as rent, as that paid up front rent. So that way it's all positive cash flow for you on those couple months.
These are all negotiation techniques. Hopefully it depends on the level of motivation of Nate, the homeowner.
Right.
Is the property empty? Is he buying another property? Is he moving away? Is he a burnt out landlord? Okay. Is Nate, and this is the beauty of a recession. If there's any upside, people are feeling this stress right now in real estate, and they may not have the skills.
I was going to say, you did a beautiful thing on the sales technique there, Claude, that you teach in the guts method too, is you didn't go like Nate gave you the buy window, right? He gave you like sell, like I'm ready to go. And you're like, suppose I can do that. You're making them come to you. You're making them close you instead of you rushing and trying to close to them. And it's a different technique that most salespeople are used to.
Yeah, it's getting commitment. I use the word, you heard it. I know you heard it. I use the word suppose.
Yeah.
Okay. You learn a few things in law school. That's why I'm a recovering. The thing about it is, I use the word suppose. I didn't say I will. And but what do you think Nate heard? He heard the offer.
Right.
Okay. Right. And he said, well, I got to talk to my wife. Then we have to negotiate that then we have to use some of Cialdini's psychological triggers, scarcity, social proof, authority, where I'd go to Nate, that's great. I think it's talk to your wife. Can you get back to me? Listen, it's 9 o'clock here in San Diego. Can you get back to me before lunch? Because I'm looking at 2-3 other properties. And I'd like, if we're going to do this, I'd like to wind this up today and my offer will expire today.
I love that. So I'm hearing the big motivation, especially if I'm someone, I have a vacant property or I'm just paying and nothing is, it's just, I'm wasting money. That's the pain point that the lease option gets to sell quickly. That's awesome. I appreciate it.
Just talking to people every day, nice conversations, using a little reverse psychology sometimes. And Nate, you're going to be losing $2,000 a month. If that property's empty for 5-6 months, that's what, $12,000. That you must be very well off, very prosperous. That's a lot of money.
Twisting the dagger a little bit, right?
I do people. You have to be a little bit of a mind reader and anticipator. Be empathetic. What is the emotions? What are the feelings that you can anticipate that the seller, the investor, the landlord, you have to know what is it that motivates them.
Yeah.
And you might have to deal with it in a positive or negative way. We don't, oh God, we could do a seminar on this, Brandon. Hey, welcome.
We will. We'll have to do that. Yeah.
Let's welcome Ryan. Ryan is in the building. Hi, Ryan.
Hey, Ryan.
You got to hit that little button.
Oh, it's not unmuting for him.
Oh, okay.
Did you have a question, Ryan? You can type in the chat if the microphone won't unmute you.
Bottom line, Nate, talk to people.
There he goes. He got unmuted.
Yay.
Oh, we don't hear anything though. The audio's not working.
Okay.
Got to connect the audio.
That's a Chrome. I'll bet you anything he's using a Chromebook. Yeah, no sound. Sorry.
Yeah. If you want, Ryan, you can type it in the chat if it lets you. And I can ask a question for you.
People invest in really good equipment. I have no overhead. And the one thing I invest in is really good laptop computers.
I love my Mac. I love my Apple stuff. I know it's like a cult, but hey, you know.
All I want is my equipment to work, because that one phone call might be the money call where I can make a year's income on one deal.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't want to have Wi-Fi and technical problems.
Oh, here's the question for you, Claude. Ryan wants to know how you introduce the seller that you'll be subleasing the home and not living in it for yourself.
Tell them the truth. I'm very upfront. I wouldn't treat somebody differently than the way I want to be treated. I'm very upfront with people. Mr. Ryan,
rarely do we get. Do you get a lot of pushback on that, Claude? I rarely get any.
Let's role play it. Claude, are you going to be living in the property? Give me that.
Hey, Claude, are you going to be living in the property?
No, a great question, sir. Thank you. I'm an investor. I'm within the Diamond Consulting and Investment Group, CC&R Property Investments. We get properties like this and we manage them. We pre-qualify people on the property. So you get paid on time. You eventually get the home sold without paying maybe a real estate commission and closing costs. Is that going to be comfortable for you, or is that a problem that we need to discuss?
I just want to make sure my property's taken care of and there's
Good
no
for
like
you.
junky tenants.
Good for you, sir. I agree with you completely. This is the first time we met and everything. And if I was in your shoes, I would feel the exact same way. What can I provide to you so you feel comfortable enough to trust me?
I kind of want to know who's going in there.
Okay. So subject to, so why don't we draw a contract if we're ready to do this today for 3 years, $1,000 a month, a $450 price, and everybody I put in that property is subject to your approval first.
So I can pick who we put in there.
I'll provide the people. I will do the background check. I will vet them. I will give you the information, and we can discuss it. And if it meets with your criteria, it's great. If not, don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds good. Do you ever have anyone like push back? Because I know we got to follow fair housing guidelines too. Like you got to make sure that you can't disqualify someone because of race or religion or family status and stuff like that, right? But you can discriminate. You just can't discriminate on certain protected classes, right?
I would never discriminate to anybody based on the things you just said. I would discriminate on their viability, their financial viability. If I get somebody who's unemployed or changes their jobs, like you change your underwear, okay? If I get somebody who has a very low credit score, has recent bankruptcies or defaults, does not have enough option money up front. By the way, when should we talk about money with any prospect? Should we give them the 45, 60-minute presentation and then find out about the money? Or do we do it up front? Obviously, up front.
Right up front. Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Simmons, before we talk about the property and how lease purchasing works, I'm getting a lot of people calling me. You mind if we talk about money for a second, sir?
Okay.
Okay. In order to move, this is a $350,000 property, and this is a rent to own. This is different from just a renting. We need some skin in the game up front, and we call that option money. That's money that will be applied towards the property. What would your budget allow you to put down on a
I have $10,000 saved up right now.
We got a problem. We were looking for a minimum of 5%. 5% on a 350 property is $17,500. You could do the 10,000 today, though.
Yeah, I have the 10,000 right now, and I can cash out some stocks possibly.
We could do that, or maybe we could just add another 500 a month on the contract to make up the other $7,500 difference. With that,
Okay.
if I was willing to offer financing.
You can do that? Yeah, you would do that?
Well, that's a great question. Would you be able to make a commitment today with the 10,000 down today if I was willing to offset the other $7,500 through monthly payment?
So it would just be the rent every month plus the extra $500?
If I was willing to do that, what would you say to me next?
Yeah, we can swing that.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, we can do that.
Okay, boom. I just made $17,500. I got 10,000 up front. I got a note for another $7,500. Plus, I'm making money on the monthly rent, hopefully. That's the purpose of a lease purchase. And I mean, that's why we're in business. Okay.
Exactly.
And you've got to think on your feet. You've got to learn this ability to negotiate. Right there. I mean, can you imagine one phone call and you just made on a Tuesday afternoon $10,000 up front and a note that's going to pay you another $1,000 to $1,500 a month? I mean, that's happy day. That's happy days in the Diamond household.
I think we all need to write down one word today, Claude. That's suppose. Suppose.
Imagine for a moment I wanted to teach you about ambiguous terminology like suppose. Let's pretend for a moment. Suppose I made you an offer. I'm not saying I am, but imagine for a moment you could get your property sold today, get help with the mortgage payments, and make sure and we could help you put a good tenant in there that'll hopefully buy the property in the next 36 months. Well, how would you feel about that, Ryan?
He's ready. I'll speak for Ryan. I don't know if his microphone's working. He's giving a thumbs up. Yeah.
Ryan, I'm going to say Ryan or Brandon or Nate. Yeah. I'm going to send you an agreement today. I've got so many people interested in this property, but I think on a 1 through 10, 10 meaning it's urgent and important. What score would you give yourself, Mr. Simmons?
Oh, 9. Yeah.
9. Oh, yeah. Tell you what, if you're ready to do, I'm going to send you an agreement. You and your wife discuss it, look it over. Let's have a meeting at 2:30. If you have any questions and if you're comfortable with this deal and ready to make a commitment and fund it, I'm ready to take it off the market. Or you could say no to me right now. It's okay.
I think we can call you back at 2:30.
You think?
I will. We'll call you back at 2:30.
See, off the role play. Do you see? He's good at this. Did you hear the word think?
Yeah.
Is this what prospects do? They do it.
Yeah, they're non-committal. They don't want to 100% commit to anything. So you got to kind of pull it out of them.
And they subconsciously, their intention is, I want to do this deal and everything. But subconsciously, they're using those maybe, probably, I think words. But the salesman hears yes, but it's not yes. I think I can make that meeting. I think I can fund this. I think I can sign the contract. The salesperson, the amateur salesperson hears yes, but it's not a yes. It's an escape route for the prospect. To tie you up, to pick your brain, to get free consulting. And you've got to be an acute listener when you're negotiating. There's so much psychology in theater.
Right.
In sales. That's why.
What's the commandment that thou shalt not lie? It doesn't apply for salespeople. You can lie to salespeople.
You can what the rule? What is it? You can still get into heaven by treating a salesperson like shit. This is why I invented the gut sales method. It's a system of getting on the phone, making offers every day, so that the math, the algorithms, the forces of the universe are in your favor. It's all about what we've been doing here for a while, way too long, maybe, right? Have we been doing this?
Yeah, I enjoyed the, thank you for taking all this time. I appreciate this.
I love sharing with people. It's my mission in life for people to avoid the running around and the frustration in this business, and get to where you're making money every day. You're making deals, you're creating notes, passive income, you're consulting. This is my mission, because I'm nobody special. My mentor blew me away. When you see somebody make more money in one phone call than you're making in a whole year in a corporate job, the wheels start spinning.
It's kind of like that scene out of Wolf of Wall Street, right? If you show me that check that you're making that much money, I'll quit my job today.
Yeah.
And come work for you.
Yeah. Sell me this pencil, right?
Yeah.
Claude,
Claude, I appreciate all the time you're putting in here. If anyone that's watching this wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way to contact you?
Call me. I answer my own phone, 970-281-5151, or go to claudediamond.com. Just go to my webpage. Everything's there on there. It's the greatest business in the world. It's where any person with the right skills can make a great living, a phenomenal living. If they have that skill, if they have a system of sales and marketing and a base knowledge of some different strategies, it's still the greatest business in the world.
I'm going to put your phone number in the chat for those on here. What can you repeat that one more time?
970-281-5151. And
then it's also claudediamond.com.
Yeah, or gutsales.com. I'm easy to reach. I do a lot of I do a daily marketing on YouTube. And that's all you really have to do. And maybe we'll talk about that at another time.
I love the attraction marketing. That's one of we'll have to schedule another call, because I would love to dive into that, because I feel like I see it, Claude, in this industry, especially where people have bloated budgets for marketing and they're spending so much money on marketing that does sometimes work and sometimes doesn't. But PPC clicks, just to give you an example, here in Phoenix, to get the deal, cost per deal was running about $6,000 to $7,000 through pay-per-click. So you have to make $7,000 just to break even.
I get a check. I get thousands of dollars every year from Google, who owns YouTube. I did it for marketing, because I want leads, I want deals, properties, and the Guts attraction marketing system actually makes me money through. I get a check from Google for the marketing that gives me prospects and deals. I mean, to me, that's wonderful.
I would love to, if you're open, I would love to, we can put it on the books for another call and do another Zoom meeting like this, and live meeting, and talk about attraction marketing.
Yeah, I have to leave in 4 minutes I train, I mentor people. I'm doing a workshop in San Diego, a live gut sales training, role play training on a Saturday morning here with the SDCIA. I'm doing a workshop. I think it's on let me check my calendar here. I think it's on the 29th. Yeah, October 29th, the SDCIA. I'm doing a workshop. We're just it's not expensive or anything. It's through the real estate club here in San Diego. Yeah. And we're in this nice real estate office, and we're just going to role play like I did with Nate and Ryan.
I love it, Claude. That's amazing. So if you're in San Diego, check out Claude. Go to claudediamond.com. And if you want to get a hold of him, feel free to call him. He answers his own phone, 970-281-5151.
Yeah. Or call Brandon.
Call me. Yeah. If you go to brandontheman.com or call me or text me at 480-818-6460. Guess what, Claude? I answer my own phone too.
Why not? Guess what happens when you answer your phone, when you talk to people every day? That's it. Just talk. I can tell people will be success if you just speak to a handful of people every day and use a system where you're asking questions, you're qualifying, and you're making offers. The forces of the universe are now, the math is in your favor. If you can do this every day, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, guess what happens? Someone is eventually going to say yes. And you're going to make more money than you ever imagined and have a lot of fun while you're doing it.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Claude, for being on here. Appreciate it. We'll have to throw out a part 2 for attraction marketing too. So
there you go. We had nothing to talk. We had nothing to talk about today, did we?
Oh, I can talk real estate for days and days. And I love the lease purchase strategy so much because I think it's totally underutilized. Very few people use it. It's like no competition out there. And it's really, you can leverage, you can have rental properties in a week.
The great investors, I've done a lot of study. The great investors, okay, the Zeckendorfs, the Vanderbilts, the Rockefellers, even without getting political, Donald Trump and The Art of the Deal, they all used options. It's pure leverage. And
100%.
You get more bang for your buck that way, especially if you're starting out. And it's a great solution for a lot of motivated sellers.
Definitely is. Claude,
see you later,
thank
buddy.
you so much. Thanks for being on.
Take
Everyone,
care.
thanks for watching at home and have a great day. God bless.